Welcome to StoneDek Systems. My name is Bart Stuchell. I am the inventor of the SilcaGrate. The SilcaGrate is 16 inches by 18 inches. It's made of a very strong honeycomb grate. It is ICC certified in the state of Florida, California, and the United States. We currently distribute this product in North America, Australia, and New Zealand. We are in the process of transforming wood decks to stone decks all over the world. Welcome to StoneDek Systems. Thank you for joining us for another one of our training series. Today we're going to talk about porcelain, the shapes and sizes, the preferred installation methods, using spacers, the SilcaMat, and then also we'll show you how this all comes together on an elevated deck system. Now that you have your elevated deck surface flat and pitched away from your house so there's no water that runs back to your house, we want to talk about how you're going to install a SilcaMat. We recommend a 2mm SilcaMat. It's made from recycled tires. It's permeable, and the reason we recommend this mat is because it deadens the sound of porcelain once you put the porcelain on it, and also reduces any movement once you put porcelain on it when you're walking across it. When you put the mat down, we recommend you to take the Silca tape and you tape the joints of the SilcaMat. And then after you put the tape down, if you wish, if the mat's still moving on it, you can actually take and put glue on each corner to tack that SilcaMat down. So now we want to talk just a minute about the different types and shapes and sizes of porcelain. As you can see here, we have two different shapes and colors of porcelain and sizes. And one of my favorites of porcelain is with the wood grain. This actually looks like a wood plank on your deck. When you put this on your deck surface, it really looks like wood. No more maintenance, no more staining, no more painting on your surface. So there's all types of porcelain in the market. It's growing by the day, the different selection of porcelain in the marketplace. Now we recommend porcelain a 1/2 inch thick or thicker to put on your deck system that you choose to do. Let's talk now about the spacers that you require. You can get a spacer from any home improvement store, and the reason you use a spacer in porcelain, because porcelain is manufactured under over 40,000 psi when they manufacture, and porcelain on the edges are brittle. If you touch them together, they will chip. So we recommend that you install a spacer in there to prevent any chipping, and also keeps an equal space when you get ready to install your polymeric sand. So let's talk about polymeric sand. There's all types of polymeric sand in the marketplace. You can use the one of your choice. When you install polymeric sand in the joint, something that's very important, that you use a leaf blower and or you use a wet and dry vac to blow off the sand off the surface of that porcelain. If you do not and you wet that down, that sand will stick to the surface and you will take a putty knife and scrape it off. So hear me out. Make sure you blow that polymeric sand off the surface before you wet it down. The polymeric sand that I used when I did my deck is you blow the sand off, and then you have to wet it down 3 separate times. You saturate the joint 3 separate times to get that polymeric sand to set up properly on your deck system. A little trick to the trade: when you get out to the edge of your porcelain tile, you wonder, how do I hold that sand in them joints? We recommend you to take a painter's tape and put that around that whole joint. Then you add the polymeric sand to it, and then you wet it down, and that tape will hold that sand in place until you wet it. Now, if you don't have painter's tape at home, you can use any type of tape that will not leave any residue on your system. One other thing you need to understand about polymeric sand: it does reduce the permeability of your deck surface. As little as 5% water will go through those joints after that polymeric sand is set up and in place. Now, as you're installing porcelain on the surface of your deck, and you get to the outside edges of your deck, the perimeter of your deck, the preferred installation method from StoneDek Systems is to use an adhesive underneath all the porcelain tile around there. Please call the StoneDek office to get the recommended adhesives for your porcelain tile. Today we just talked about how to install porcelain pavers on an elevated deck system. We went over how to install the SilcaMat on the deck. We went over the details of installing spacers between the porcelain pavers, and we also went over on how to install polymeric sand in the deck system. Please join us and we'll show you how to install concrete pavers on an elevated deck system next time.